Welcome to the Power Lunch Podcast, your midday dose of boldness, brilliance, and a little bit of badassery. I'm Amy Sousa, here with my powerhouse co-hosts, Tracie Munce and Lisa Carmichael, and we're coming in hot to shake things up. Each week, we dish out bite-sized, high-impact conversations on business, health, purpose, wealth, and the wild, beautiful chaos in between. Whether you're building your dream, rebooting your story, or just catching your breath, this is your space to get grounded, inspired, and reignited. This isn't just another podcast, it's your power move. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Power Lunch Podcast. We are so grateful to bring back Liz Svatek to the podcast today because we kind of had a cliffhanger. Liz talked about her book last time she was with us, but now we're going to dig a little bit more about Liz, like how she got started, why this is so important to women, to you as our listener out there listening today, and just what Liz really brings to the table and how she helps women elevate themselves to move up the elevator to reach those higher floors and break through those glass ceilings that don't even exist. Welcome back, Liz.
Thank you. Very excited to be with you again. I love you guys.
You know, one question we didn't ask, was there something that you wanted to share with our listeners that, you know, you really feel our listeners need to hear in this time, this crazy time that we're in?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, more than anything, we just talked about this beforehand, but I want people to get out of this age thing. I feel like we've got an age thing going on. I mean, I know there's a lot going on in the world I could talk about right now, but what I'm really noticing is there's a lot of shame around age. And in my last class, I had a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old, a 60-year-old, a 70-year-old, and an 80-year-old. And that was such a blessing. This is to me like the blessing of the world. It's like going back to tribal times, right? Where you would have an elder in the tribe and the elder would encourage the young one. And just that kind of room has so much beautiful energy in it. And we really need to get off this kind of shame around age. We really need to look at it more like that you are not your age, you are your energy. Because we all know people in their 70s and their 80s, and you wouldn't even know. You'd be like, you are what? And these people are coming in the room lit up like candles, and we're so magnetically attracted to them. And then there's 40-year-olds and 30-year-olds that are absolutely acting like they're 80, like their life is over, all the glass ceilings, all the limitations that they're arguing for, right? And we're like, girl, my favorite thing to say to a woman when she comes up to me and she's like, I'm so old and I don't know, it's too much. I'll say, I don't see a walker. Like, that's the first thing I say. And they die laughing, but I'm really being serious. Like, girl, like, are you headed to a nursing home? Are you going to assisted living? You're 45, you're 60. Like, are you okay? Right? We have to kind of get out of this framework where we feel like everything's over, it's too late, or we've made a lot of mistakes. Shit, I've made a million mistakes. Who even cares? Right? Literally, you are one decision away from a different future. And when we know that and really understand that, right, change doesn't happen over years. It happens in a day, in a minute, in a decision. And you really have to kind of get yourself over the fact that your age, because it's not about your age. It's about your energy. If your energy is low, nothing's going to happen to you. So we really need to be more focused on energy than age.
How do we
can I just say something about this? I think that I love all that and I agree with it. And I agree that when my energy is up, my age doesn't matter. When my energy is low, my age matters. Yeah. The shape of my body matters. The shape, the size of my nose matters when I'm at a low stage. When I'm up here, I don't care, man. I'm living my best life. But society isn't necessarily on board with that comment, and neither is social media. And it makes me remember one of the influencers that I watch that is probably in her early 40s, mid 40s, whatever. And she said, where are my 50, 60, 70-year-old influencers? I need you to get out there. I need you to be more visible. I need to see you because you have wisdom, you have experiences, you have things that we need as a lesser age. But yes, she looks pretty. She has all the things that Instagram says this is what people want. But what women truly want is I want to be around 60, 70, 80-year-olds that can show me the path, just as I can be here for the 20, 30, 40-year-olds that I get to show the path. We're all on this path with a light. Like, I want those women ahead of me to show me their light.
100%. I working with somebody in their I'm 56. Working with somebody older than me is such an honor. It's such an honor. I'm always guiding, but also telling them, you're a leader. Like, let's go, right? So I'm really just coaching them into leadership because they are the elders of the tribe. They are the people that we want to hear from. And it's so funny because they think that they have nothing to say. And then, they're in the room in my classes in Limitless, and I'm hearing them talk, and everyone's like this with a jaw open, listening to every word they say, hanging on their every word. And at first it's almost like they don't believe me. And then when they see everyone else's reaction in the room, they're like, oh, did I say something amazing? Yes, you did. Right. So I think it's really turning that around. And also, we are the ones we've been waiting for. So if you see a 60 or 70-year-old woman and she's dynamic, help her get on social media, help her get into a speaking gig, right? So we have to also send the elevator back down for anybody that needs to kind of raise themselves up. I always say that. That's really a big thing in my community. Send the elevator back down. If you are feeling good and healed and you've gotten to a certain place, your job is to send the elevator back down for somebody else so they can raise their energy and they can have a stage and a voice and a microphone.
Awesome. Like, everybody's just stunned. Like, come on, ladies. Sorry, I'm texting, so you have to take it, Lisa.
All right. Okay, so let's just get personal for a moment. I'm 62. I'm older. You're telling me I'm wisdom, but when I told you I was healed, you said, no, we're always healing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom in your healing.
Yeah. But I'm telling you that at some point we have to tell ourselves we're healed. Because if we're going to spiral about this healing, like, I got to do something to keep healing. And I completely understood what you said about things always change. There's always something to heal from. But when we're so focused on, I have to heal, I have to go to another retreat, I have to do something to make myself feel better, versus I'm healed. And I have this bracelet to prove it, that I've healed the girl.
Yeah. I mean, own your healing. I mean, and
that's hard for me with my energy, my younger energy, to stand up for what I believe in.
Why?
Because I don't know, maybe because I'm not an auditorial learner, or I don't put my feelings out there. I internalize them. Mm-hmm. So my truth, when I speak it, I will easily back down, mostly because I'm a people pleaser, because I want everybody to be happy. So that you can have
people pleasing is a trauma response.
Yeah.
That's what I think women really need to understand. So when we're people pleasing, it's a self-protective mechanism. It's a trauma response, and it's usually from old stuff, little girl things where we're be nice, hug your blah blah blah, right? Like, be a little lady, right? Like, so it's usually from younger. We just become very pleasing and let me make sure everybody's happy, right? So here's what I'll say is that that's just practice, right? And also I'm hearing so much limitation and everything. I'm not this. I am. Just remember, whatever you follows I am follows you, mm-hmm. Right? So I'm very, very careful about what I declare. I'll say I am a healer all day. But if I say I'm not good with public speaking, I'm mm-hmm. not good at explaining things, it's like, well, then what am I going to be focused on, and what is going to be true for me, right? So I would say, it's just practicing, right? It's not that you have to tell everybody every damn thing, but owning your healing, hell yeah, mm-hmm. Own that. Like, I've done a lot of healing. I feel like I'm in a really good place. I feel mm-hmm. like I have a foundation to stand on, right? Because I feel like if you look at healing like a house, right? Most of us have had our foundations rocked. There's a crack in the foundation. It wasn't built right from the start, whatever it is, right? So when you do a lot of healing work, you re-pour that foundation. And now you feel like, well, like exactly like you're saying, like, huh, I feel like I can stand on this thing. This feels good, right? It feels solid. It feels true. I feel healed. Great, right? Now the fun part begins. Not that you have to do more healing and chase it. This is not what this is. It's designing the life you want. Now you get to build this house on the foundation. What do I want my kitchen to look like? What kind of sheets do I want to make? Like now the fun begins, right? And it's only when you feel limited in that you could say, oh, maybe it's time for a little more healing if I feel limited. If you don't feel limited, if you feel limitless, girl, I celebrate you. But most people have a limit that they don't even know, that it's in your subconscious. It's a story, it's a program, right? People have that stuff and they don't even realize it, right? So it's not that you have to chase it. It's more noticing in your body, where do I feel stuck? If you don't feel stuck, wonderful, go, do it, be it, right? But if you do, it's just a little sign that you need to do maybe a little bit more healing, not as a chase, but as a possibility opener.
I love that. And I'm going to listen to this podcast more than once.
On repeat.
Those are words of wisdom. And I know that I'm not the only one that feels that way or that has that way of thinking. So that's very, very powerful. What you're doing, Liz, is just such amazing work. You're changing lives. And what a better way to live than to making a difference.
Way better than
I also think what I was hearing though is that what you were saying, Lisa, is that I think sometimes we get into this chasing of healing, right? I'm chasing something, and that's an exterior thing. It really, like, I have to do this new retreat. I have to do this. I have to read this book, or, like you're chasing. And when we're chasing, that's actually a trauma response as well, when you can just sit and say, I feel good, whether that's I'm healed or I'm healing or whatever the verbiage around that is, being in a space where it's just, I like where I'm at. And also, it can be two things. I also know that I am open to whatever is coming, right? Like, I think that's really, like, I can go through periods of, I'm, like currently I'm not in a mastermind, and that is, leaving my mastermind, it was hard because I was like, I have no foundation now. I have no people I can call. I got blah, 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 blah. And my head wanted to spiral me, because masterminds are something that I strongly believe is necessary for me. So in moving no mastermind, finding that ground that didn't feel shaky, and really leaning into the teachings and going, okay, wait, I'm okay. So now what does it look like going into a new mastermind? What do I want? Who's the type of people I need to be around? What do I want to elevate to, and who, right? Like, rather than just being in a mastermind because that's where I have to be, because if I'm not in a mastermind, something, right? Like, that is graspy. Do you guys, Liz, you see what I'm talking?
Yes. And I also think we're not talking about a really important word when we're talking about all of this, which is integration. There has to be a pause for integration, right? You just can't jump from one modality to the next, 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 without periods of integration, where sometimes we pull all the supports away. Like, okay, no therapy for a little bit, no masterminds for a little bit. Let me just see where I am, right? I know a lot of women that are constantly hiring business coaches. I said, girl, you've been coached in your business for 45 years. How about you just chill for a minute and take all the things they've taught you and just integrate all of it, right? Sometimes we're like, no, new shiny thing, right? But shiny object syndrome is fear. It's fear. It's just fear playing with your mind and telling you, you need this new thing, otherwise you're not going to be okay. Sometimes we need to sit in the discomfort, right? And just say, okay, this feels uncomfortable. I'm not used to having no mastermind. I'm not used to not going to 70 things. Pause, right? Sit in it a minute. What's coming through? What's true for me now? Where am I, right? To see if you need more support, or is it, I just need to get my baby horse full legs underneath me and know I'm okay, girl, I'm okay, right? And just go on my way for a little bit, right? So that's a really important point, is that we all need that integration time. You know, if you've done a ton of work, stop the chase, slow it down, take everything away, and just see, right? Wait, look around. Where am I right now?
Right. So good. Speaking of masterminds, you foster such beautiful masterminds. Tell me why your mastermind is a little bit different, because it is different than a lot of them out there. So I have kind of this like flow chart of you. I have masterminds, which lead into your beautiful retreats that are also curated, that also you can side over to RTT, which brings into legacy. And then there's another chart that has human design and the whole woo of everything. And then also, like, I'm giving you my flow chart of what I want to talk about. What are you excited about right now? Where are you like leaning in? So that's kind of where I want, if you see my flow.
As I see your flow. Yeah.
And you like it looks good.
Everything you're talking about, I call the path to warrior, because my whole business is called Warrior Women Inc. So I wanted to give women a path, because when I was starting this work, I was like, what the hell do I do? I've already done all of this work and it still is not really bringing me anywhere, at least anywhere significant or sustainable. What do I do? So I created this 6-month program, which is called Limitless. Limitless, you get an RTT session, you get to do human design work, and you get to have this Limitless class where you learn all the tools, all the foundational things. So that's a 6-month program. Once people are done with that, then I have this mastermind. It's invitation only. Not everybody gets invited into this mastermind, because the mastermind is a little bit different. What the mastermind is if you know that you are really meant for leadership, but you don't know what that looks like. If you have a business and you know that you want to grow it or change it or turning it into something new. If you have a business idea, you know you want to launch it. Or if you know you just need to rise into being the matriarch of your family, or you need to rise into something different and you don't even know what it is, but you just know there's more, then you're coming into this mastermind. And this mastermind, it is a curated, I have 2 different ones right now. They're curated, they're very small. They're never more than 8 people. I don't believe that masterminds are 30 and 40 and 50 people. I like 8, I like 4, I like 6, because I am in every area of this person's life, right? So we meet as a group, but you also meet with me one-on-one. They get unlimited rapid transformational therapy at that point. If they feel like they want to do one, we do one. I curate meditations for them. They get to go on a retreat, 2 retreats. So it's a year-long mastermind, 2 retreats, also curated for them. So this is a very high-touch, personalized kind of mastermind. And in that experience, I have women from all over the country, all different ages, but I know how to gel the group and bring it together. Sometimes there's teaching in there. Sometimes it's really hot seats and masterminding things. It's really a good balance, but it's all the women in the room are leaders. All these women could run their own masterminds, which brings me to the thing that makes me excited the most, which is I'm doing a mastermind certification program. That is brand new. It's not a public thing. I really am just inviting ladies that I know into it. And so I'm teaching women how to run a warrior women mastermind, because I realize the way I do it is patently different than other people, because I've been in some other masterminds and I have not really gotten as what I wanted out of it. So I'm going to teach people how to do it. And I think these ladies are, and listen, some of these ladies are going to do it through their own lens, whether they're interested in finance or interior design, or they're really spiritual and they want to take it into kind of Christianity. It doesn't matter. You can make your theme of your mastermind anything you want, but I'm going to teach them how to build it. And I'm going to teach them the part that no one really teaches you, is how to make money, which I'm really, really, really invested in women making money. When women make money, they are so powerful, because women are the nurturers and leaders. We're the leaders of this world. And when we make money, what do? We give money to other people. We invest in other people. We give to charity. We are builders and creators. So I'm really, really invested in women also making money. And that's also why the mastermind's important, because when I see a woman who's not making money, I'm like, that's what I'm going for first. Like, right? Like, how can you make money and feel free and easy and feel like you're in your gifts and your legacy?
So good. So good. Honestly, I think that the pauses, if you're listening, and I mean, we're just giving you opportunity to integrate. We're sitting here like taking it all in. I want to talk about RTT because this is your baby. This is where if there is a shining thing, it's that. You do, like, everything is shining, but the RTT experience, I was able to partake in it a couple years ago, and life altering. Life altering. Now, I've done therapy, but it was when I was really young, and it really isn't my cup of tea. I've obviously had coaches and masterminds, but RTT was something that life altering. So tell us a little bit about it, how you got into it, why you got into it, and really what you think changed, why it's so impactful, why it's necessary, really, for everybody to do it. I don't think there's one person that I would say shouldn't do it.
Agreed. Here's what I'll say. When I was first teaching Limitless, I did not have I wasn't a rapid transformational therapist, and I loved all these tools. But I would see how some women, even with all the tools, there would be like things that I just couldn't like get them really over the finish line on. And I am so results driven. I don't, all the things I do, I need women walking around singing my praises. I don't want one woman walking around go like, yeah, I took Liz's thing, it was okay. Like, I am just not looking for that. I'm looking for people to talk exactly how you're talking, Tracie, and saying, oh my God, it was life-changing, right? If I'm not doing that, to me, I'm not doing my job. So I was noticing in these classes, these women they were having great results, but there would be like certain areas, right? Maybe it was a loss of somebody, or they're in the midst of a divorce and it's really gotten dark, right? Or they're just really looking for their legacy, or there's like a confidence thing, or like, I don't want to be visible, something very specific. And I thought this is so interesting with all these tools, it's not hitting that thing. And so I became curious about rapid transformational therapy. I'd heard of Marissa Peer. I thought she was kind of a genius. And I thought, you know what, maybe this is something I can add in to my programming. So I became very curious about it. And I really learned you have to follow your curiosity. This is the universe calling, being like, hey, queen, let's go. So I did this certification, took years because I was running my business and doing the certification at the same time and running my masterminds. And so I became certified in this work. And rapid transformational therapy is very revolutionary. It's been around since the 70s, but a lot of people have not heard about it. And what it is, it's a blend of NLP and hypnotherapy, subconscious rewiring, so many different things together. But I like to say it is like 5 years of traditional therapy in 90 minutes. And when you think about that, and you think about traditional therapy, and you're going for years and years, this is what it looks like. You have a problem. I have a problem. There's a problem I have. Yes, you have a problem. How do you feel about the problem? Oh, well, I feel like I have a problem. Like, right, you're just going around and around and around. In rapid transformational therapy, we get to the root. If you think about those funny weed commercials where they show you like how the weed killer goes down into the root of the dandelion, that is what I do. I go down into the dandelion of whatever you tell me is bothering you, and I go down to that root and I absolutely find it, and I help you to see it differently, reframe it, heal it, and then it's not bothering you anymore. We actually literally take that thing out. And from a subconscious mind perspective, you have a neurotag in your brain about whatever this thing is. And so I remove it and I move it away. And so you can never get back there again. And you listen to this beautiful recording after our session for 21 days, which really locks it in. But I'm able to literally achieve miraculous results. I've had people I had a woman who, she lost her husband. She couldn't go to the grocery store because if she saw the cookies that he liked, she would have a panic attack. So she was not leaving her house because everything would remind him. She loved this man so much. Everything would remind her of him. We do the session. She's now walking around as if he is her boyfriend. Everywhere she goes, if she sees something that looks like or reminds her anything of him, she's like, oh my God, he sent me this today. Like, she is in a joyful, and this has been now 6 months. She's walking on air. In fact, she is right now on a trip that they had intended to go to together. She went alone on this river cruise because she thinks he's with her. That is the power of what I can do. And I can do it in many ways, right? But that to me, I've had people who were molested when they were children, never been able to let it go. I've been able to heal that. So to me, does everyone need to do this? Yes. And once you've done it once, then there's some more things you can play with. Like, oh, okay, I've done this. Now help me with money. Now help me with my relationship with my mother. Now help me with my relationship with my daughter. Now I want to feel more sexy. I just did one with a woman. She was like, I got this hot husband. He's a hot new husband. Why don't I want to have sex with him? And I'm attracted to him, but I'm like scared to be sexual. I'm like, oh, amazing. So we did this whole one. She's like, were you a phone sex operator? I'm like, probably in a past life. I don't know. We'll see. But now she's walking around feeling sensual and sexual towards her husband, which she was so uncomfortable with. And now she's feeling so good. So to me, this is the power of rewiring your subconscious mind. This is talking about that cross of the sleeping phoenix, this new era we're in. This is the new healing. Nobody needs to be in therapy for 5 years. Nobody needs to be, you can have immediate relief, and you can move through something much, much faster than you could ever believe. So to me, this is the future.
So mine, I need to share this. So this was done 2 years ago in August that I did my RTT, and mine was around shame and guilt. And it actually was about my abandonment. I have huge abandonment issues, or had huge abandonment issues. My original father left me when I was 5. My stepfather, who was beautiful, just like could never give me anything. And he died when I was 24. Obviously, I was pregnant when I was 15 from a 21-year-old that, once April 20th, 1984. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, got pregnant. But I had this, like, for really 50 years of my life, these abandonment issues, and it shows up in every single relationship. It shows up in the way that I work. It showed up in everything. And since that moment, never once have I claimed that I have abandonment issues. I do not have abandonment issues. It is not, like, Liz, the path you took me on healed such beautiful just love for my original father. Like, man, it wasn't me. He wasn't abandoning me. The way that I get to show up in my relationships, the way I'm a leader, the difference that, I don't take things personally in leadership anymore. It's not about me. It was so impactful. And what was truly impactful is the meditations afterwards, the locking it in. And it opened the door to really diving more into my meditation. And everybody that knows me knows that I'm a student of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and, just really that like rewiring, and also recognizing that, man, I am not the problem, but I can be the solution. Like, I don't have to hold on to, patterns and stories of other people. I don't, their life is their life. And how I respond is how I respond. I don't have to have a reaction to your problems. And that just, it's so beautiful. And as I navigate a new life of being a solo person and allowing love back into my life, that intimate, that partnership love, going into it as a healed version of that, it shows up differently. My pattern has been changed. So I appreciate that. Another thing that you do, and I'm sure you have something to say about that, but another thing you do is really into human design.
Yes.
And human design is, like, again, such a powerful modality of understanding why we're doing what we're doing, or, the acceptance of, hey, like, work within your blueprint.
Yeah, here's how you're designed.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it makes sense in a way, right? Like, if you think of it, why are all our fingerprints different?
Yeah.
then we have to be designed differently. I mean, it makes total sense when you think about it, right? But nobody's really looking into how they were designed, like, right? Nobody's thinking like, well, I was designed this way. It's like, well, here's what your nervous system looks like, and here's kind of like the character of you, and here's how you best make decisions, and here's how you show up in really, really great energy. Here's how to know when you're very limited, and here's what your work could look like. To me, the power of human design and how I specifically use it, which people use it in different ways, and it's a very deep dive. So some people take it all down into the weeds. I really don't do that. I like to make it very easy, discernible, trackable. I use it in my decision making. Like, I want you to use it. I don't want you to be like, oh, that was cool. Like, and it can't be too much, right? Because it can be a fire hose. It's a really, really big deal. But I use it to help women discover their legacy. Because in your human design, it says what you're here to do. It literally charts your whole destiny. And so to me, I love to show women that and reveal that to them. So like, I have one woman right now that I'm working with, and we're really just getting into her human design. And I said, oh, see here, it says you're a masterful speaker. She almost fucking died. She was like, excuse my French. She was like, oh my God, I can't speak in front of people. Forget that. I can't do that. I said, but it says here that you are designed to be a masterful speaker. So now she's like having to really look at that. Where did that idea come from that I'm not a masterful speaker? Guess where it came from? When she was in 6th grade, and she would try to speak in front of the class, and everybody laughed in her face, and the teacher told her to sit down, and whatever else, right? The parents said, you're too loud, you talk too much, be quiet, right? She's realizing that actually isn't her. That was just something she was told, right? And so she just believed it, and that's who she believed herself to be for the next 50 years. Literally says it in her design. And I showed it. So now she's opening her mind to something different, right? Now, normally, if I just told her, oh, you're a great speaker, she'd be like, okay, nice to meet you, Liz, bye. But when you see it in your human design, it's proof that that is true about you. So then you really have to reconsider, right? The limitations you're putting on yourself. So human design is incredibly powerful for so many things. I use it so much in my parenting. I have all my kids' designs. I help people in their relationships. I have people with very difficult relationships with their daughters, husbands. You know, we do marriage by design. We do legacy by design. I have all these different things I do where I can help you communicate with your partner better. Use specific words that are in his design or in her design, in your child's design, so that you can communicate better. It really is like a math equation. It's very simple once you start using it, but it is incredible. It's an incredible thing.
I love it. I use it on my grandson. Like my grandson was born, and I did his human design immediately, and he's a little generator, and I'm a manifesting generator. So we have a lot of the same, like frustrations, and but being able to navigate his moods, right? Like, oh, we need to it's okay. And my daughter gives him choices, and it's so brilliant the way that she just offers him choices where, do you want to do this or do you want to do this? And it's always geared towards where she wants him to go. But by offering him choices, he's like, okay, I get it, right? And not everybody is like that. Like, you give me a choice and I'm like, I don't know, like I need options. I don't need choices. I need a smorgasbord. Like, give me like 17 choices and I will decide on 3 of them. And then I can, where Lee being a manifester or Nicole being a projector, they don't need choices. Like, you just got to, like, what do you want to do? Oh, this is what I want to do, right? Like, they already know. I need options.
Yes, me too.
He needs choices. I mean, it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I know we're kind of getting to the end here. Amy's got to get going. Tell us, what are you excited about? What are you doing right now that is lighting your inner, like, little Liz? I want to know.
Well,
I'm very curious.
This is very secret, and I'm really
okay. Don't tell anybody.
Can't believe I'm going to say this here, but so usually when I run my retreats, they're within my programs, and I can't go very, very far because they're really a 3, 4, 5 day, 4-day retreat, really. So we've done Costa Rica and different wonderful places, and those are all incredible. But I've been feeling this thing, or I want to go a little further. And I have an incredible travel agent who basically is my person. She's been from the beginning of my career. She's hired me for 1,000 webinars and things. She knows all my things. And so she came to me and she said, would you ever want to do a retreat together? Like, I can use my travel agent talents because I use her for everything. And you can bring all the things you do to this retreat. And, and I said, okay. So we're now planning, I think we're going to go to Morocco. I think that's our first one. I've never been to Morocco, so I'm excited about this. And we're going to bring a small group of women, and we're going to really enjoy the culture, and we're going to go deep in all the things. And then we're going to bring in some healing and different modalities. And so it's going to be this incredible, I don't think there's anything more expansive than travel. You and I agree on this wholeheartedly, Tracie. And I think it'd be such a great thing to be able to go to somewhere incredible and also expand yourself at the same time, like internally and externally. Yes. So I'm excited about that.
My whole body is like shivering. I'm so excited. Everybody knows I'm a traveler. But to do that, on foreign soil, number one, the whole expansion that happens every single time I get on a plane and have a passport in my hand. It's different. It's different when you have to use a passport to get through. And then walking into an area that, English may not be the first language, and the smells are different and the sounds are different. And you can just watch your whole, it's like you're, and for the people not listening, I just feel like there's this slow expansion that happens. And when you get on that plane on the way home and you look back and go, the version of me sitting here today is not the version that walked on that runway or that gateway, 2, 3, 5, 10 days ago. I am a totally different person. And then as I know you, then there's the integration that happens afterwards. And it's that collective that gets to come together afterwards and watch that expand, because the expansion doesn't stop on the airplane. It's the things that we do after that. Integration is so vital. I am so excited for you. I cannot wait to follow along. I want all the details. I may be in Morocco if you're inviting me. I'm so excited for you.
Oh, maybe you need to come. It would be amazing.
I hear you. I'm looking at my passport right now.
So exciting.
Liz. Okay, ladies, do you have anything else?
No, I have to jump on a call quick. So I will talk to you guys later. Liz, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate all your wisdom and everything you brought to the table. And thank you for helping me heal.
I love you, Amy. I'm so happy.
Love you too. I'll see you guys later. See you in Minnesota.
Yes.
Lisa, you got anything, love?
No, this has been wonderful. Thank you for all the extra time that you've given us on the podcast today, Liz. We love you. We love having you and hope to have you back.
Yes, anytime. And what you're doing is so incredible. And I love the way you're lifting up women and lifting up women's voices. All your every time I see your events coming through, I'm like, why don't I live there? I want to go to that.
Wait, why don't we live where you live?
Yeah, well, you can come to me too. So, but I want to just celebrate all the things you're doing, because really, I love everything you're doing, and I love the way you're doing it, which really bringing the heart to everything. So I love you guys.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Liz. We're going to put all your information in the show notes, because if you are not following Liz, you are missing out on nuggets every single day. Thank you, Liz, for taking the time. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for loving me in a way that I just, as an alpha female that has lived in alpha female mode most of my life, I have been a toxic alpha female. And you were one of the first women that taught me how to look like a mature alpha woman, and I will run with you every single day in this lifetime and more. So blessings, hugs to your family, your beautiful husband and your children. Have a brilliant, brilliant summer, and we will see you soon.
Love you.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. If something we shared sparked a new idea, gave you a fresh perspective, or simply made you feel seen, we'd love for you to pass it on. Share this episode with a friend, a colleague, or a fellow powerhouse woman who's walking her own journey. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Until next time, keep showing up, keep rising, and remember, there's no ceiling you can't break through.